Never looked at it that way. That's a good way to look at it, man. And congrats to Puffy daughters too. They graduated high school this week, so congrats to them, man, with everything they going through.
Shout out to his daughters. He better hope nobody catch them and do them the way he did somebody else's daughters. And trust to believe there's guys out here that will do that just because they did his daughters. That's how evil, that's how nasty our world could be.
Let me ask you this, right? When it comes to Puffy kids, do you think in the back of their mind they wondering if their dad had anything to do with their mom death, Kim Porter?
Well, I think that none of them probably and I witness Puff ever putting their hands on Kim because Kim, I think, got to the point where she saw and found her power. I believe Kim found her power, whereas that if Diddy would have put his hands on her after she slit his wrist, she knew he was pussy. This all I had to do. So after she slit his wrist, I believe Kim found her power. Now, Diddy used to rough her up with the pillow fight and everything like that, and shit like that. But I don't think I've never seen him physically put his hands on her. But maybe some of the other bodyguards after me did. But I believe Kim found her power. I don't know if Roger Barnes testified that he saw her put his hand on Kim. But nonetheless, I can't speak for those kids, but with all the information and all the stuff that came out, I would think, and no kids want to think bad about their father, especially somebody who has made it so grandeur in their life that everything is to the fifth, to the 10th power. They don't want to think bad about their father. But there's a possibility that Quincy may believe, but those are his sisters and those are his brothers. He may not let them know or want them to have that feeling.
I'm hearing that a makeup artist they testified against Diddy. You know anything about that?
Well, her claims were that she was with Cassie and Diddy, on a couple of videos. She had did a lot of different videos for Kodak Black and Future that Cassie was on, and she did them. She even did stuff for Rihanna. So the lady was she was a pronounced makeup artist. She wasn't no bootleg makeup artist where somebody that Cassie found or whatever like that. And she had been knowing Cassie, and she's the one who brought up that she been knowing Cassie since she was 16 years old, and Diddy had her eyes on him. It was speculation like that. You understand? Because Cassie was in the modeling thing. I didn't even know Cassie was in the modeling thing at first. She was in New York modeling with the word girl Karen that Puff hit in the head with the hanger and choked her. You understand? She was modeling with her. So that's how I came into the assumption that, okay, Puff has been watching this kid ever since she was 16 years old, whatever like that. So now she was there when Cassie got her eye bruised up and Diddy beat up pretty bad. And she was the one who called the lawyer, called the doctor, and called one other of her friends and stuff like that. Cassie wouldn't let her call the police. She was going to call the police. You understand? So then she was the one who snuck Cassie out of her house, out of the apartment and everything like that, and took her to her house. And she stayed at her house for a couple of weeks or whatever like that until they got money up or something like that and they went someplace else. so Diddy wouldn't find them. You know, um, her testimony was pretty good, and she was the one that they were trying to say, well, you didn't see it. She was saying that you didn't see him beat him and all like that. That if somebody go in a room with somebody and he leaves in a hurry and you go right in the room and she got her lip busted, she busted her lip, blacked her eye, and she had knots all over her head, and she's like, what the? Yo, that's just as crazy, man. For dude just to do that little girl like that, bro. And the lady was testifying to that. It was almost like Cassie mama testifying when she took the pictures of the bruises that Cassie had all over her body. It's just certain that you just don't do to people, man. So she testified that to the abuse, but also testified that the people who was involved, who came to always to clear his up from the company. He uses employees to cover up his wrongdoings. KK, D-Rock, George. So that's what she testified to. And she did a great job.
Yeah, that's sad, man. Like if he did all that, man, that's heartbreaking, man.
Bruh, it's more to come, bruh. Because what the prosecution, the defense trying to do, the defense is trying to, you still got Gina, and the prosecution or the defense was trying to tell the prosecutor, well, she's not a witness. She's not a witness. They want the prosecution to hurry up to bring Gina in so Gina could paint the picture that like everything was consenting because she's been paid off.
And this is the one that disappeared, right?
Yeah, this is the one who disappeared. This is the one who they could get her. It's nowhere she could go that the federal government, if they want you, that you can't be gotten. You understand what I'm saying? If the federal government wants you that bad, you'll be gotten, bro. It's too much technology, photo imaging. There's nowhere she could go. She Asian, you know what I'm saying? Half Asian or whatever like that. She might like Chinese food, rice or whatever like that. She got to go somewhere to get something to eat. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. So now she come and she testified in behalf of Diddy. They want the prosecution to bring her in. They know she's a hostile witness. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be here, this, that, and other. She made a post, I'd rather be in Chanel and all this other shit like that. That's the girl who took off the payment. She took the $2 million payment from Diddy and them when she got on Tasha K. I think Diddy may have gave her $2 million or something like that. Got her in school, gave her an apartment out in LA, still was messing with him. Oh man, brainwashed. But she did talk to the federal government. They do have emails and everything from her and her lawyer. So she had to be somewhat involved in that. You understand? It's a lot of stuff. They say they got 6 more weeks of testimony. So they're going to start bringing it in and they're going to keep tying this RICO. They're going to keep tying this racketeering because they are now ready to take down Combs Global. Tie that to Bad Boy and show whereas that he's using this money and using his funds to do criminal business, then that means they're going to take that down too.
How you feel about the people that's calling Kid Cudi a snitch?
That's what's wrong with our people today. Cassie could get brutalized. Gina could get beat. Kid Cudi could get his car blown up. But all you gotta say is we gotta take that. You gotta take that stuff, and you a snitch. Grow the fuck up. That's what I got to say. Grow up. You can't teach stupid.